Good afternoon to each and everyone. I'm Marilyn May O. Manago, and for today's video, I will be discussing to you about Article 3, Section 22. So what does Article 3, Section 22 states? So it states here that no ex post facto law or bill of attainder shall be enacted. So in my part, I will be explaining to you about ex post facto law. So what does ex post facto law means? So ex post facto law in the Constitution, it is defined generally as one in which in its operation makes one a criminal, which was not so at the time the action was performed. Meaning, a person's action can't be considered illegal or a crime if that time there is no law punishing it. So that is ex post facto law. So there are four classical definitions of ex post facto law. So first, every law that makes an action done before the passing of the law a criminal act and punishes such action. Number two, every law that aggravates a crime or make it greater than it was committed. Number three, every law that alters the legal rules of evidence required at the time of the commission of the offense. And lastly, every law that changes the punishment and afflicts a greater punishment than the law annexed to the crime when committed. So I will give another example about ex post facto law for you to understand. So just like the case of Onel de Guzman. So if you are not familiar with Onel de Guzman, he is the person behind the I love you virus. So that time, kinuha siya ng mga pulis. Pero hindi siya nakulong. Bakit? Kasi that time there is no cybercrime law. So yung nagawa niya, hindi siya considered as a crime kasi there is no law that says that his action is illegal. But then, after a year, may na-establish na cybercrime law. Question, applicable ba yung new law sa action before ni Onel de Guzman? Pwede ba siya makulong dahil may bagong naisabatas na law? The answer is no. Why? Kasi yung criminal law natin is prospective in nature. Hindi siya retroactive. Ano ba yung prospective? So prospective is pa-forward. Hindi siya pa-backward. So hanggang ngayon, free pa rin si Onel de Guzman. Kasi nga, walang law that time na ginawa niya yung action niya. But, ex post facto law can be retroactive, meaning pa-backward siya, if the new law is applicable to the accused. So, I will give an example for you to further understand. So, just like the case of Robin Padilla, di ba nakulong siya for about, I forgot how many years siya nakulong, pero that time nakulong siya dahil sa illegal firearms. And let's just say that that time, the law states na if makitaan ka ng illegal firearms, makukulong ka for 5 years. Ipalagay na lang natin. So, nakulong si Ruin Padilla. And then, while he's in prison, may bagong naisabatas na instead of 5 years sa old law, the new law states na kukulong ka na lang for 3 years. So, ipalagay natin na nakulong na si Ruin Padilla ng 3 years and almost 4 years na. So, 1 year na lang yung kulang para makalaya siya. Question, applicable ba ang new law sa case ni Ruben Padilla? Of course, yes. Kasi favorable siya sa new law. So, ang nangyari, nakalabas agad si Ruben Padilla. Hindi na agad siya naghintay ng 5 years pa kasi yung new law, favorable siya. May advantage siya. But then, just like it says here, every law that changes the punishment and afflicts a greater punishment than the law annexed to the crime when committed. For example, just like the case pa rin ni Ruben Padilla, na that time, the law states that 5 years yung punishment, imprisonment, if makakitaan ka ng illegal firearms. But then, while Ruben Padilla is in prison, may bagong law na isinabatas na instead of 5 years, 10 years na raw. So question, magiging 10 years ba ang imprisonment ni Ruben Padilla? The answer is no. Kasi hindi siya pwede. Bawal siya. Hindi siya favorable. Okay? So I hope you understand what Expost Facto law. Okay? So that is the explanation of Article 3, Section 22. So to summarize what I said earlier, Expost Facto law, you can consider a person's action crime or illegal if there is no law punishing it. Our criminal law is prospective in nature and not retroactive, but it can be retroactive if the new law is favorable to the accused. So, I hope you learned something from my explanation about Article 3, Section 22. That will be all. Thank you!